Hey everybody, it's me Amanda with Once in a Wild, and welcome back to Once in a Wild Wednesday, or welcome in the first place if this is your first time visiting us. Hello, this is Once in a Wild. We are a mobile zoo, which brings the zoo to you throughout South Texas, but also throughout the world via social media on our live stream each and every Wednesday evening at 6:30 p.m. Central Standard Time. And I'm so very sorry we're running late this evening because we ran into a couple of very minor technical problems, which is just life. And the way my week is going, it's just as well. So it should be looking up from here. We're going to be having a lot of fun with 3 different animal species, and we're going to get to know them in just a moment. Let's go ahead and get started in just a second. Yeah, let's get started. Welcome back to Once in a Wild Wednesday. My name is Amanda, the founder and animal specialist here at Once in a Wild. And if you are just joining us for the first time, Once in a Wild is a mobile zoo based in South Texas. We actually are located in San Antonio, Texas, to be very specific. And we do operate on Central Standard Time, which is why we broadcast at 6:30 p.m. Central Time, like I said. So welcome back. If this is your this is not your first time, is what I'm trying to say. Welcome back, and it's good to see you guys back again. I hope you guys had a wonderful week. I'm going to go ahead and turn on comments so I can see y'all's comments just in case. And don't forget that this is actually an interactive live stream. So we want to make sure that you guys are feeling comfortable enough to ask questions about the animals coming out, to give me a comment, to give me encouragement in any way, shape, or form. If you happen to be on Instagram, you're going to get a little bit of a different view, and it appears that I am at a desk. I am not. I just have a little bit of a platform situation going on for our animals to be comfortable on. There's a nice padded area here for the animals to hang out on in just a little bit. And today we're actually going to be feeding some of our animal friends live on the live stream, which we don't really do that often. So I thought that would be a lot of fun this time to maybe switch it up a little bit. As you can see, it's a one-woman show again, as per usual, but lately we've been having a lot of collaborations. We had a few really fun guests on the show not too long ago. If you want to check out that playlist over on YouTube, that is a really fun thing to go watch with all of our special guests that we've had on the show. But we're taking a break from that right now because of, unfortunately, COVID right now. We're trying to make sure to be as safe as possible. So we're just taking a break until things settle down a little bit. Pardon me. I hope you guys are healthy at home and staying nice and safe. And I hope your family is okay right now. So I'm checking in with Instagram. Hello, everyone there. How are you? I'm so glad to see you guys joining on Instagram. On Instagram, I can't actually broadcast simultaneously from our other, the app that we use, which is StreamYard. So I have to use my phone. So you might have a little bit of a different angle, which I'm sure you're okay with, right? This is actually kind of a nice little setup today for Instagram Live. Hi, it's good to see that you are safe. Very, very good, Leslie. And hopefully you'll be able to see the animals right here on the platform. And over on Facebook and YouTube and all the other platforms, we are going to be having a little bit more of a wide view. And that's where I can actually kind of highlight your comments. Hello, Shannon. Shannon's already saying hello. So I can highlight her comment for everybody else to see on the other platform. But no big deal if you'd rather watch over on Instagram. That's perfectly fine. That's why we do that, because everybody has their preference, right? And we can reach more audiences that way. In fact, the more that we, place ourselves on social media, the more we get noticed. And speaking of which, this is, of course, a free live stream each and every Wednesday. We like to provide this free of charge. If we don't run a rerun, which sometimes we do, I'm not going to lie, sometimes life gets in the way, or I have a prior engagement, or something comes up, etc. Emergencies happen, etc. Just the way it is, especially with animal life. Anything can happen, right? But it's kind of rare that we run the reruns because we do like to provide the live streams every Wednesday, but they're free. They're free to you guys, perfectly free to watch. As you can see, you're already watching it without paying anything, but you can actually tip us or donate to our zoo with all the links down below. And most of the social media has very convenient links for you. But you can actually go to onceinawild.com if you can't find the links below for some reason. Onceinawild.com, scroll all the way down to the bottom where it says sponsor our animals. There's a box that says sponsor our animal. You can click there, and then it gives you a whole bunch of different options like Venmo and Cash App and PayPal and Amazon, and also even Patreon now. We have a Patreon. Yay! We just got started on Patreon. That's actually how you can sponsor some of our animals and donate to our zoo, help us out. Every little bit helps. Please don't be shy with that. If you do have the means to donate, Awesome. And if you don't, that's okay. This is a free show. We want to make sure that we provide animal encounters virtually, at least to anybody all over the world that can watch through the social media platforms. So we're very happy to be here with you guys tonight, as always. And it should be a lot of fun. Yes, coronavirus gotta go. I do 100% agree with you there, Leslie, over on Instagram. Now, I am gonna switch it up, I think, to a different banner on our other social medias besides Instagram. Instagram has really nothing down below except for your comments, so you're not in the way. Don't worry about that. But over here, I think I'm gonna change it to a scrolling banner today, just because we have a little bit of a blocked view down here on our table situation. So let me just do that really quick. As you can see, this is real life, so I'm doing everything right now. So just bear with me. I guess I'll just take this away just for now. And we'll have a scrolling banner with some of our donation options, tipping options, and things down below, as well as where to find us. Now, if you do want to help us out and you actually would like to schedule your own animal encounter, that's what we specialize in. So our mobile zoo specializes in person and virtual animal encounters to anyone. And we are for all ages. We can come to classrooms of all ages. We can also come to nursing homes too. Animal therapy is a really popular kind of encounter for that. We can also conduct just meet and greets, photo opportunities, and even a mini petting zoo. And of course, birthday parties are a big one of our popular choices as well. So you can go to onceinawild.com to learn more about that, or you can even contact us at the number that's scrolling down below. And on Instagram, the number is listed on our bio, of course. Let me go ahead and fix this as well. We got to have Once in a Wild up in the corner. And yeah, if you guys want to know anything else about Once in a Wild, feel free to contact us at any point. We are filling up our calendar pretty quickly, especially for weekends. So make sure and contact me if you have a special date in mind that you would like to book your animal encounter, and price ranges for everyone. Okay, we want to make sure that everybody can have their own animal encounter, no matter who you are, okay? And that's one reason why we do this free show each and every Wednesday evening at 6:30. And it also helps us to get the word out about these wonderful animals and what we do for the South Texas area. And it's really fun to outreach all over the country and all over the world sometimes. We actually have clientele and friends from all over the planet, thanks to the internet and thanks to quarantine back a couple of years ago, right? When we decided to go virtual, which was kind of cool. So that was one good thing about Corona, I guess, is us forcing us to go virtual. Hello, Jeffrey. It's nice to see you. Thank you for the compliment on the shirt. This is actually from Old Navy, not a sponsor, but I do absolutely love this shirt and I wear it all the time. And we love to be colorful and kind of wild here Once in a Wild. So that's kind of part of the inspiration for our uniform, if you will. But this isn't a shirt that you necessarily can't buy. So you could easily find one. Well, I don't know if they sell them anymore, but Old Navy was selling them at one point just last year. So I'm sure you could find them, maybe even used somewhere if you're into that. And they even made shorts that match the shirt as well. So if you would like to go even more bold than me and get the matching shorts, then you go for it, Jeffrey. And thank you for the compliment. It's good to see you on the show. If you guys are not able to watch right now, or maybe even not able to watch the whole show right now, I totally understand. You have a life outside of Once in a Wild and what we do. But don't worry, we always repost the live stream on YouTube and on Facebook and other social medias too, like Instagram. When we go live on Instagram, I always repost them for you to watch again. And you can even share them with your animal-loving friends and family. That's another great and free way to help us out. And of course, the best free way to help us out is just by following us on social media, commenting, ringing the notification bell, sharing the videos, like I said, liking the videos, maybe leaving a fun comment of encouragement or emojis, something like that to help us stay in the algorithms of social media, because all of that's really squirrely, as you might imagine. So that helps us out quite a bit to stay relevant, right, in our little circle of life, I guess, our circle of everything, and to outreach to more and more people. So why does Once in a Wild exist? Well, back when we decided to open up, by the way, I have my zoology degree, number one, and I also have been working with animals for a long, long time. I started working with animals when I was very young. I was working with horses and dogs and cats and other domestics and things like that. I actually got into the vet tech world for a little while, decided it wasn't really for me, and long story short, I ended up going into zoology instead, which is more the study of like all different animals, right? Zoo animals, exotic animals, etc. And I really fell in love with working at zoos and aquariums, and I worked for several of those. And then not too long ago, a few years back, about 3 or so years back, I decided I wanted to open up our own company called Once in a Wild. And Once in a Wild is basically a mini zoo that can be mobile. So we can bring animals to classrooms, birthday parties, and all sorts of things that I already listed earlier, right? But we also go virtual too. So if you want to actually schedule I'm having a hard time talking today. If you want to schedule your own animal encounter through Zoom, that's another really cool way you can help us out too. So that's why we opened up Once in a Wild in the first place, is because I just wanted to kind of do my own thing and have a more of an outreach to my local community and to, I guess, throughout the whole world now. It's pretty cool. But that was the inspiration for me to open up Once in a While and just do something a little bit more outside the box, right? So what we do is we educate people about animals that may be misunderstood. We might educate people about animals that are already in their own homes, like, for example, bunny rabbits, guinea pigs, cockatiels, some of the more common pet type animals which people may have. But it's still, in my opinion, very important to teach people about the animals they already know about, or they think they know about, in order to learn more and to care for them in the best way that they can, so that the animals have the best life that they can. And in turn, also teaching people about misunderstood animals like snakes and spiders and all sorts of, like, snails and all sorts of animals outside in your own backyard. At least here in America, right? You might have other animals in your own backyard in other continents, right? Other places. But those animals too. So some of those animals that are misunderstood or maybe even persecuted and even hated, we want to make sure that you guys are educated on those animals and that you're telling all your friends and family to leave those animals in the wild alone. We don't want you to be bothering them. We don't want to be harming them in any way. They have a purpose and we can coexist peacefully with them. So that's part of why we opened up Once in a Wild. And also, I just absolutely love the work. I love animal training. I adore animal information and learning about them all the time, and teaching others what I learn in turn, and hoping to make your day better by doing that. And I hope that you enjoy the live stream yet to come. I won't get too deep for this live stream. This is supposed to be a fun and light one. I'm probably going to retitle it because I didn't know what I was going to do when I created the broadcast. Funny thing about doing these live streams, I never really thought I'd be doing this in the first place, but you kind of learn as you go, right? And technology is always changing, the apps are always changing, etc. So you have to actually create the broadcast like the day of, or you can even create it like the week of, but sometimes there's technical problems. It wasn't the problem today, there was something else. Internet issues today. I hope it's looking okay out there, by the way. I think on the phone it looks great, but I want to make sure out there on the other platforms like Facebook and everything that it looks okay. So you guys make sure and let me know if it looks grainy or anything, because we had some internet issues. My computer wouldn't connect and wouldn't restart for me a second ago, so we just delayed, and that's okay. I'd rather start late, better late than ever, right? But good. I'm so glad it looks good on Facebook. Thank you, Shannon, for answering me so quickly. Let me know if anybody else is on YouTube or any of the other platforms. I don't know if you can comment over there because we're new to the other ones, but let me know how it looks if you can. And on Instagram, I'm sure it looks fine because my phone is fabulous. I can actually see the picture just fine over here. So no worries there. And our internet's actually pretty fast. That's what I was checking right before I went live. But you actually have to create the broadcast at least ahead of time. So sometimes I create the broadcast and I don't know what I'm going to talk about for the live stream, so I just kept it really generalized. But after creating the broadcast, and it's been a long day, very busy day, not that I'm complaining, it's good to be busy, right? But I was like, hey, what if I do something a little bit different? So you see this platform in front of me. It looks like I'm sitting at a desk, like this week on CNN, coming in 7 o'clock almost already, right? Do I have bloopers? You bet I have bloopers. I have bloopers almost every single live stream, so it's really fun to watch the videos back and find all the funny parts, and I never know what I'm going to do or say. It's just kind of a surprise. So yeah. But luckily I can talk forever, so those of you that watch me all the time know that. But today I thought I would have this platform so I could bring out some of the animals and actually feed them in front of you guys. Would you guys like to see that? I want to make sure everything's in view for everybody to see, which is why I changed our scrolling. Yeah, I know. Why I changed our scrolling information down below on most of our platforms down here. So you can see this platform on the platforms, right? So I want to make sure you guys can see what's going on. So we're actually going to bring out 3 different species like we usually do. And if this is your first time joining us for Once in a Wild Wednesday, sometimes we have special guests and we bring out animals for the guests and we talk about them. Sometimes I'm all by myself, which is another night today, another night like tonight, which I already mentioned is because we're trying to be careful right now, right? And not contaminate anybody. So we're keeping it solitary and solitude for the most part. And also, when we have guests on, I don't necessarily want to be wearing like a bunch of masks and PPE. So we're just going to wait it out and see how it goes. Hopefully everything gets better. Everybody cross your fingers simultaneously throughout the planet. And we're going to get through this again, I guess. But anyway, I thought I would do something fun for you guys since I hardly ever feed animals on the program. I don't know why. I guess I just don't think about it because I'm going throughout my day and feeding them during our husbandry scheduling, or for maybe in-person programs, we're feeding our animals their treats, their food for training. For example, our owl Rango, who's not going to be on the show today, he was actually on the show a couple of live streams ago, so we're not going to repeat too many animals back to back. We have some different animals today, but we actually feed him while he's working. So while Rango is doing his job, which is literally just being himself and sitting on my glove, maybe putting on his equipment that I put on his, this is me putting on owl equipment, on his ankles, all of that takes treats because we want to make sure it's a positive experience for him, and he takes treats very well. So he does really well eating on the job, whereas some animals do better just not eating on the job. So a couple of the ones that I brought today, which are over here, I'll get them in a minute, they usually don't eat on the job. So I don't really think about that when I'm bringing them onto the live stream. I don't think about XYZ animal eating because they don't normally eat on the job anyway. And even I think we'll do our last animal, which will be like our grand finale coming out last. You're going to love her. She sometimes will eat on program, but usually she doesn't really want to. But in here, she does really well. I don't know if it's just quieter and less distracting. Who knows? But I've learned through trial and error that feeding her isn't necessarily a thing either. So it kind of just depends on the animal. The ferrets are a really good one as an example of animals that absolutely do need to have treats for their programs them working on programs because they will run away. They could care less about hanging out with me. They'd rather go play with something in the room, or they'd rather go maybe attack somebody's feet or something like that. So I need to make sure that we're giving them a little treat and keeping them occupied. The cockatiels are another one that actually get treats during shows as well. But many of our reptiles and invertebrates really don't get treats during programming. I'm trying to think of any of our reptiles in general that on a regular basis get treats. There really aren't that many of them. And that's kind of the norm with reptiles in programs. We don't necessarily feed them each and every time they come out for a show because guess what? They are, number one, cold-blooded. We did a whole program last week on the live stream about reptiles. We had Joanna the iguana. We had Shelton the tortoise. And who else was on the show? I forget who we had. You guys remind me. But we had 3 reptiles. Pardon me, I needed a little drink because I'm talking too fast. We had 3 reptiles on the show. We talked all about reptiles. I'm pretty sure it was a snake. Oh yes, it was David Boa, our boa constrictor, of course. And especially snakes, you don't feed them on shows because snakes only eat about once a week, every other week, sometimes even just once a month, depending on the size and species of the snake and how they're feeling and yada, yada, yada. And plus feeding a snake and holding a snake is not really the best idea most of the time because you can then be associated with food and then they might accidentally nibble you instead of the food. So it can be a cool thing to show on the live stream. We've definitely done feedings of snakes. We've fed snakes on the live stream, and I plan to do it again because it's a pretty cool thing. Maybe next time, or I'll at least maybe make a video for you guys because we're about to do a snake feeding pretty soon in the next couple days. But that's not really an animal that gets treats every time they come on program. So I don't really think about that too often, being mostly a reptile keeper, to be honest with you. I have kept all different types of animals, and we have all different types of animals that are mostly smaller, right, to be able to travel. But most of the animals that we have, the majority, I should say, are reptiles, amphibians, and creepy crawlies or invertebrates. So let's go ahead and bring out an invertebrate. I think we should start with that. And I know you guys probably don't favor these animals the most. They're certainly not my favorite animal. I will admit that freely. And to be very honest with you, it took me a while to even get used to these guys. I know you can see them in frame already. They're going to be coming out on to this little area here. And we are actually going to attempt to feed these critters. I don't know if they'll eat on camera, but we're going to try. But I wanted to bring out 3 kind of omnivorous type animals. There's one. Oh my gosh. Look at this invertebrate. What might it be? There's a few of them. Let's bring out 3. I think 3 is about all I can handle without craziness happening. Pardon me, you guys. We're gonna seal that up real quick. So these are 3 Madagascar hissing cockroaches. Everybody's favorite, right? I do know some people that it is actually their favorite animal that we have. We have met a few people that really like these guys quite a bit. We even have an entomologist in training, well, somebody studying entomology, I should say, on staff, and she absolutely loves invertebrates and insects like these guys. These guys, of course, are Madagascar hissing cockroaches, and they are from Madagascar in nature. These guys are not from Madagascar. They were bred right here in Texas. So Texas hissing cockroach. But they are really neat. Now, they are not my favorite, like I think I already mentioned. They're actually kind of creepy to me. It took me a long time to get very used to holding them and being able to be comfortable presenting them, etc. because I have quite a fear. I don't know if it's a true phobia, but it's pretty close, of roaches. Roaches terrify me. Absolutely horrifying, in my opinion. And by roaches, I mean the fast ones. The ones that fly. Here in Texas especially, I think all over the United States, as long as it's warm enough, you'll have the flying roaches, usually in the warmer climates, right? Because they don't like the cold. So you guys that are up north probably don't have as many of the larger roaches. You probably have smaller roaches. But I can't think of anybody, save for a couple, that roaches in general are like their favorite animal. Probably for good reason. You shouldn't really be picking up most roaches. These guys are actually pretty clean animals compared to the common kitchen roach or the common flying roach that we have here in Texas. I do apologize if I'm taking a lot of drinks tonight. My throat is just a little bit dry tonight. But these guys are very different. They're actually quite slower. As you can tell, they're not really moving very fast. Now, they can skitter along if they feel a little bit startled or if they feel threatened in any way, right? They can kind of run away. That's their main defense, is to run away. If they're up in, like maybe against the side of a tree or up in a tree, they can jump out of the tree onto the ground and they can see where they fall. They are very tough. They have a very, very hard outer shell or exoskeleton, being an insect, right? They are invertebrates, so they don't have bones on the inside of their body. They actually have an exoskeleton or shell. So their shell is very, very, very hard and very strong. So they can literally just fall down. I'm not going to make them fall because I don't want to make them uncomfortable. But they can absolutely climb up the side of a tree, maybe on the trunk of the tree, and then whoop, and then just jump right off for safety purposes to get away from scary animals like chameleons, birds, or lizards that might be in Madagascar with them trying to eat them. And if this guy here feels threatened, he might jump down, but I've got a carpeted area here for him to land on. He will be fine. But these guys are actually very, very safe to handle by humans as long as you're gentle with them, right? But even for kids in some of our programs or classrooms, they can't hold and touch them because they're not going to be super fragile, like maybe a tarantula or even a scorpion is more fragile than these guys. So a lot of animal programming does utilize Madagascar hissing cockroaches as their insect or invertebrate of choice. Now, it's certainly the most popular insect choice for programs just because they live a lot longer than most other insects. Most insects in general do not live very long at all, do they? If you know anything about insects, they typically have kind of a life cycle, and once they reach the adult portion or phase of their life cycle, they tend not to live very long as an adult. Some insects live a long, long time as larvae or worms, right? But these guys are kind of an exception. So they don't even have a larval stage. They actually are live born from their mother. Mother has a few babies at a time. I think she can have up to like 20 or 30 babies at a time. And I always forget what the number is because I'm not an entomologist and I don't breed these guys. Although I do breed these guys by accident because we have a colony of males and females and they're always having babies for us. So it's not on purpose, but they seem to be happy about it. So we let them have babies for us. And then we just have more and more Madagascar hissing cockroaches. to last forever, I guess. And right now we have a few adults and a whole lot of babies. I believe we have about a dozen adults right now, and I don't remember. But remember, they don't live the longest of any animal, but they live a lot longer than other insects. So how long can they live? It's about 5 years maximum. It's usually about 3-ish years, maybe 4, but 5 years. They can live a long time for an insect. Most insects do not live that long. And so most animal programs do tend to kind of select these guys for animal ambassadors, if you will, because they're not going to die in a matter of weeks. And that would be very impractical for most animal programming. Now, I do know a few animal program, what are we, like mobile zoos, animal program companies, animal companies that provide animals, etc., or even like rental animal things like that, that they do actually provide lots and lots of insects, and some of them have a wide variety of different bugs. Doodlebugs is actually another one that's friends with us over on Instagram and etc. All the social media. They have a great TikTok as well. We also have TikTok. Check it out. And Doodlebugs has some really cool bugs, but they're actually located in California, so they're not in Texas with us. But she has a whole lot of really cool creepy crawlies. You should check it out. But these guys are by far, I think, the most popular of all the insect animal ambassadors, just because of their long life expectancy, their hardiness. They're very common and easy to get a hold of. They're very easy to feed, which is what we're going to be doing here in a little bit. So let me let these guys kind of come down here. Would you guys stay right here for a little bit? I bet you like this little carpet scenario. Stay right there. They're so cute. Thank you, Siren. Siren is the one I was talking about that actually really loves the Madagascar Hissing Cockroaches. Did you get your own Madagascar Hissing Cockroaches? I see your profile picture. Did you follow my advice and get some? I'm so happy for you if you did. Jeffrey says, these only get a pass because they don't fly. That's how I feel as well, although there are a few other cockroach species that actually do fly as well. They just don't fly as quickly. So they're less creepy than, like I said, the ones that we see wild here in Texas. We call them, what do we call them? Like water bugs. They're just so erratic with their movement. I think that's what creeps me out, is they're so fast. They pop out of nowhere. They will fit into every crevasse or crevice, and they'll like just appear in your house. Like, where did you come from? Get out of here. And they're so random and huge, and they just spook me a lot. Let's just say that. You don't want to see Amanda running away from the flying roach. That is very terrifying. I don't even like them when they're just not flying. I will run screaming the other way. That's the only animal that I do that with. You're glad they don't fly either. Yes, Shannon, me too. The closed captioning, I think that's an option for you. I think you can just turn it off with your settings, but I do apologize if you can't see. The following animals after the Madagascar Hissing Cockroaches will be actually larger, so you should not have any problems seeing them, but I will kind of bring them up to the camera. Oh, it's not really in focus because I'm so far away from the camera today, but you can see those crazy legs underneath the shell here, the antenna, which are all otherwise known as feelers, right? So feelers and antenna is the same thing, really. And they actually provide them with touching ability as well as smelling ability. Can you imagine if you had feelers and they not only they not only felt around or were able to give you the sense of touch, but they could also tell you sense of smell just by doing that. Wouldn't that be cool? So we're going to offer them some food. Why not? Let's see what they like. I have a whole bunch of choices today for several animals, like I said. Let's see. I already know their favorite, so I'm going to go with that because these guys are kind of slow eaters. They do not eat every day, just like a reptile would not do as well. These guys will eat about once a week is what we usually provide, but they can kind of munch on their food throughout the week, and then we just dispose of it and then change their food out again. These guys get all kinds of different vegetation. Now, in the wild, they're going to be a detritivore. That is very specific, right? You've heard of a carnivore, you've heard of an herbivore, you might have even heard of an omnivore, which is technically what roaches are in general. They're omnivores. Most roaches literally eat anything, and that's why most roaches are a little bit dirty, because they crawl into garbage, they crawl into leftovers, they crawl into whatever, and they carry diseases away with them and give it to you. Fun. These guys aren't like that, though. They actually are not considered to be a pest animal at all, where they come from in Madagascar. These guys are only going to be eating dead plants and other plant matter, maybe leaves that have slightly started to die, things like that. And by doing so, they're actually cleaning up the environment. They're not making it a diseased environment. They're making it a disease-free environment, which is fantastic. So let's go ahead and see what they will do with some bananas, because that's their favorite. Oh, this guy wants to get down. Now, this is a male, by the way. I wanted to show you guys one thing before we start. He has the little bumps on the top of his head area, and the females actually have a smooth head area. So we'll go ahead and offer them some bananas. Would you like some? I wonder if they can smell it with their antenna. Now, I'm not going to wait too long because that would just be the longest live stream ever and super boring. But I'm going to give them a little bit of an opportunity to maybe go for it. I think this guy is actually sensing the banana already. Can you guys see? I know it's very far away because they're smaller. Oh, yeah. He's like, yes, thank you very much. And he's actually already eating it. Isn't that adorable? Aw, super cute. Let's bring out some more roaches and see what they do. Why not? I always bring several because, you guys want some? Because sometimes they need breaks. And so we can switch them off and things. Pardon me. But let's just see what happens. I promise this won't be the largest portion of the show, because I know you guys want to see other animals real quick. Come on, go get some yum-yums. They're so cute. Well, this guy is certainly the winner. I think he would make it in the wild. Bananas. And in the wild, too, they will eat fallen fruit. They will eat rotting fruit, of course. So they're actually okay to have a little bit of, like, turned food. There goes the other one. Super cute. Monkey see, monkey do. I guess so, huh? There we go. I guess not. He wanted to go check out the female instead. And that is so cute. Pardon me. Yeah, this guy is definitely hungry today. Can you see? That's so cute. Now, these guys do not hiss or breathe with their mouths. They actually don't have any sort of breathing system that resembles ours at all. Their breathing system functions from their abdomen. While this guy's eating, I guess I can show you on another one if he doesn't want to eat as much. Dots on their abdomen. Can you guys see over on Instagram? They have little dots. See the little spots? I know it's very shiny due to all the beautiful lights in here in the studio. But they have little spots on their abdomen, which is their hind end, right? As an insect, they have a head, a thorax, and an abdomen. Head, thorax, and abdomen. Head, thorax, and abdomen. And the abdomen in this case anyway, on most insects, is where they have the little dots or sphericals. And the sphericals is where they breathe. It's like their little breathing holes or tubes. And then animals such as tarantulas and some other larger invertebrates like that, those guys actually have sphericals on their belly, sometimes just one, and that's where they breathe out of. So for these guys, that's where they breathe and where they hiss. And Madagascar hissing cockroaches will hiss for a couple of different reasons. Number one, to communicate. They do talk via hissing. Kind of sounds like s, s. It's a very like kind of quick s. It's not super dramatic, and it's actually kind of cute. And then they will also hiss to attract females. The males will hiss more often than the females, but the females can still hiss a little bit. But by far, I have heard male Madagascar hissing cockroaches hissing a lot more often than female. Now, this here is a female. She's also going through a molt, and I know that because she's very, very dark. Can you see how dark, almost black that she is? She's about to molt soon, hopefully. They do that a few times in their life as adults. When they're babies, they molt a lot more often in order to grow up quickly, because the smaller you are as an animal, like I've said 100 times, the more vulnerable you are. So in nature, you do want to grow up as quickly as you can so you're not vulnerable to predators. Looks like all the guys are getting the bananas. Can you guys see? It's so cute. hope you're enjoying this. I just thought I would do something a little bit different if you're just joining us. We are going to be feeding some of our animals, not just roaches. We're actually going to be having some other animals out here to feed as well. We'll talk about them first and then we'll feed them. So the roaches are at their last portion of the roach part of our live stream. Let's go ahead and just give them some more over here. Let's see what they do. They do have kind of a little cute munching mouth. Let's see. They're stuck to the carpet. You want some? Yum, yum. These two girls might be a little bit finicky today. That is okay. They absolutely don't have to eat if they don't want to. You want to just hang on to me? There you go. Bananas happen to be the Madagascar Hissing Cockroaches' favorite food in my experience. So I'm not really that shocked that they went for it. That's pretty cool. Whoa, slippery. That guy's falling right off of it. Now this might be creepy, but don't bug out. These are just Madagascar Hissing Cockroaches, one of the most benign and safe roaches to handle. If you're just joining us. These guys are insects, of course, and not arachnids, but they are invertebrates and are arthropods as well. Pretty neat. No, they, again, are not one of my favorites. I had to learn to like these guys over time. I know a lot of people that kind of instantly just like these guys. They don't have any problem with bugs in general. I really don't have a whole lot of problems with insects in general at all. It's just the roaches. It's the flying roaches. Hornets and wasps also give me the heebie-jeebies because I know they can sting me and it will hurt. And they're fast and they can fly at you. So maybe it's the flying speediness that freaks me out, but I'm always learning, right? And we can also help you guys get over some of your fears. I have certainly gotten over my fears of Madagascar hissing cockroaches. I'm very comfortable handling them, and they're really not a problem at all for me. I'm not afraid of them anymore. But I had to learn to be like that, right? I wasn't like instantly in love with them, like I said. So the more you experience these animals and have safe and positive experiences with them, then you can actually learn to at least tolerate them, not be afraid, and maybe even learn to kind of like them. Maybe even you learn to love them. Wouldn't that be neat? So if you guys are interested in experiencing something like that, maybe you're afraid of snakes, maybe you're afraid of spiders, maybe you're afraid of roaches like I was, still am, but none of these guys. It can certainly help you through exposure to some of these animals. Now, that's not like a creepy way. We just want to make sure that you guys have positive experiences with some of those animals. For example, snakes. Snakes are a great example. A lot of people are scared of snakes, like we talked about in the last show, right? With David Boa. We can give you guys an amazing experience with one of our ball pythons or even our California king snake, Slytherin, that will hopefully change your mind about snakes. Now, we don't start off with throwing them on you or forcing you to do anything. We would start off with you simply being in the same space as the snake or animal and work your way up to being near to them. Maybe they're in an enclosure first, and then we take the lid off the enclosure, and then we just leave them in there. Maybe you're more comfortable touching the snake while it's in the enclosure. Maybe we just have the tail for you to touch the tail of the snake. Maybe you don't even touch the snake at all. Maybe we just hold the animal near you, and that's enough for you. It is all up to you and your comfort level. With these guys, to be very honest with you, I just kind of forced myself to start holding them. I would kind of see which ones were the calmest ones, and I would start picking them up and holding them, and you just kind of get used to it. The more you do, the more confidence you'll have in anything you do, right? Repetition builds confidence with any animal or human. That's my advice to you. Hello, Ricky. It's so nice to see you. Well, I'm going to let these guys enjoy the rest of their snack over here in their enclosure, I think, because time's a-wasting, and they're going to take forever to eat. At least this guy is. Now, the roaches are actually the only animal here at Once in a Wild that we don't name because they're constantly having tons of babies for us, which is great. I'm glad they're happy and doing that for us, and we have an unlimited supply of Madagascar hissing cockroaches to teach the masses with and to help you with your animal exposure therapy, right, if you happen to want to do that. But we can't tell them apart. At least I cannot. And they molt and change all the time. And they don't live forever either. So I don't necessarily want to just name each and every one of them. But I do know a lot of people that name their Madagascar hissing cockroaches and keep up with names. Ours are just collectively called the Roach Army or the Roach Colony. And we'll just go with that. Yeah, this guy's really enjoying the banana. So we'll let him. This is their little travel enclosure. I don't usually show these things on the stream, but I will today. because they don't have any room to put it. So all the animals, of course, they travel in their own kind of safe and sound little enclosures for travel, obviously. Smaller than what they live in, of course. And that's actually safer for most animals to travel. Here we go. We're going to put them up. Goodbye, roaches. To travel in something smaller, especially if you're in a vehicle, right? Just like you would put your child into a car seat. And this is nice and secure, but they can't escape. I'm going to make sure that he's in there. There we go. Where they can't escape, but they also have holes for breathing on different angles, right? Some holes right here so they can breathe because they do breathe. They might breathe out of sphericals, but they definitely do need air to breathe. So we provide that for them. So I'm going to keep the banana for the next few animals coming out, next couple animals. And we also have other treats for them. I'm going to reach over here. So our next animal friend might smell all the bugs that just came out. And she does eat bugs. So I actually brought her some worms to feed her last because that's her favorite. I'm sorry for all the water I'm having to drink tonight, guys. I'm just a little dry-throated. I'm glad I brought my water with me. Y'all make sure and stay hydrated out there because that is a very, very big, important thing you need to be doing to stay healthy. That's what I'm trying to say. Okay, everybody stay hydrated. Debbie, the dragon, is coming up next. This is a bearded dragon. Her name is Debbie. I'll show her to everybody real quick. Debbie the dragon. Can you guys see her? She is gorgeous. She's one of our hand-me-down adopted animals from another previous owner. And she's wonderful. She is an Australian bearded dragon. She's actually a red-faced Australian bearded dragon. Very, very pretty. She is a female. And these guys do come from Australia, like I said. And they are omnivores. They eat all kinds of stuff. They're very opportunistic. They're usually found in drier climates. They have very, very dry, scaly skin, especially on the dorsal portion of her body. She's going to be very, very, very well armored. These spikes on the sides, however, are not really sharp. They're more for looks. They make her look really tough. And the kind of spikes or scales right underneath her chin and right here are where they get the name the bearded dragon, of course. And bearded dragons don't have any hair. It's not a beard of hair. It's a beard of scales or spikes. And they can actually communicate with their beard as well. And even their body, they can puff out their body to look really big and crazy to predators and not edible to predators, I guess. And they can also look big and impressive to impress their girlfriend. So if she were a male and she were to stick out her beard, the bearded lady, I guess, she would stick out her beard and the beard were to turn black. Now, that might be attracting female bearded dragons, if I'm not mistaken, but that could also be to ward off other male bearded dragons as well. If a male bearded dragon sees another male bearded dragon in his territory, it's not going to be pretty. They are going to probably battle a little bit, and one of them is either going to give up or be forced to give up, right? It's not going to be pretty. So making his beard all puffy and kind of like head bobbing is another way that he can say, hey, get out of my territory, or hey, pretty lady, just depending on the situation. And one way that they can actually kind of wave the white flag of surrender is to wave. They literally will give a little wave for different reasons as well. They might wave to surrender and not want to fight with the other male, or they might wave to be like, hey, can I be your girlfriend kind of thing, depending on the gender scenario going on. So it all depends, but they do have a lot of body language that they kind of use to communicate with one another. Oh, what are you looking at over there? Did you hear the word bugs from earlier? Would you like a little treat while we're talking about you? I'm going to start off with something that these guys do eat and should be eating on a regular basis, and that's going to be salad. It's not her favorite, but she does actually like salad. What do you think about a little broccoli? Oh, what do you think? She says, why, thank you. Thank you very much. I didn't realize this was all going to be like in the view, so we're going to hide that a little bit better. Haha, that's much better. See? I figured it out. So she did kind of like the little piece of broccoli, so that's good. Now, it's really important if you have a bearded dragon at home to not just feed them bugs. Bearded dragons eat an omnivore's diet, so they eat greens like collard greens, mustard greens. They can eat a little bit of broccoli sometimes. Delicious. This is working out really well. Debbie likes everything apparently. So we started off low on her least favorites, and we're gonna go all the way to her favorites. So this is starting off really well. You're gonna have a well-balanced diet right here on the live stream. So proud of you. It's also important to supplement their salads and bugs as well with calcium, with vitamin D3, as well as multivitamins and vitamin A as well. All kinds of nutritional advice that I can give you. We actually do have a live stream all about lizard diets, I believe, over on one of our playlists on YouTube. So if you haven't already subscribed to our YouTube, please do that and check out our lizard diet video that we did a long time ago. I think that was like last year or so. But these guys are omnivores, so they eat all sorts of vegetation in the wild. They'll eat greens as well. Would you like some more? Yum. Yes, you would. Great job. That can help them to stay hydrated as well by eating plenty of salad. And we don't want to feed things like iceberg lettuce. We don't want to feed things that are not nutritional. Iceberg lettuce only basically has just like water in it and a little bit of filler, not much else. You want to eat it on your own off the table? I bet you would do that. Yum. You guys like this? You like to just watch our animals eat? As you can see, she eats very well. She hasn't missed too many meals. We were actually working on lowering her body mass when we first got her, but she's doing very, very well. So they are very rough, like I said, on their dorsal. They are super gentle lizards. They're actually very popular in the pet trade, which is where you've probably seen a bearded dragon. Bearded dragons are not native to Texas or the United States. Some people ask me, is it a horny toad? No, they are not. Horny toads are, or the horned lizard, the Texas horned lizard is an extremely endangered species now. They're critically endangered and also much smaller than a bearded dragon. Would you like some more? Yum, yum. Lisa, can I have some more? Yes. And like I said, they're not native to the United States at all. So you would not see these guys in the wild. You would only see them maybe in the pet trade. So they are very gentle lizards. They do take a little bit more advanced care than what I would recommend for a beginner. But they are very gentle, very easily handled by most people as long as you're gentle with them. Not to say that there can't be accidents. They still do have a mouthful of teeth, but they're known to be very, very sweet and to not bite humans. They do bite broccoli though. And but they do have an omnivore diet in the wild as well as in your own home if you happen to have one. They also require very special light requirements like ultraviolet light and the proper heat basking spot. They are kind of a warmer weather type animal, and if the temperatures go too low, you might have a brumation or hibernation scenario, which you really don't want to do if you don't know what you're doing. And that can be bad for them. There you go. Would you like some more salad? Aw, she says no thank you to the salad right now. What if I hold it for you and wave it in front of your face? Then she says yes. We're learning, right? Now, normally I would feed Debbie the bearded dragon a kind of on a plate of salad, but today I thought I would just feed her for you. This is super cute, I think. More broccoli? I didn't even think that she liked broccoli. I brought that as kind of like an experiment, and now I know. But that's good. Good job. Now, as far as their salad, you can provide salad up to 3 to 4 times a week if you want to. You have to watch their weight. Even with salad, they can get a little too chunky. They will use the restroom quite a bit if you're feeding them that often on salad. And on the other days, I recommend feeding items like the bugs. So you can do crickets as long as they are gut loaded and properly fed there and hydrated. Crickets really are basically just chitin or shell. There's not a whole lot of nutrition to them or nutritional value whatsoever. But if you gut load your crickets a couple of days before you feed your animals the crickets, or at the store you buy them from, maybe it's like a mom and pop shop that gut loads them properly for you, and look up all this stuff on how to gut load, by the way, because it kind of depends on the animal that you're feeding. It kind of depends on a lot of stuff, where you're located, etc. The crickets are actually pretty complicated, even though they're the most common of all the food items for insect-eating reptiles, I would say, in the pet trade. Crickets are just very easy to breed and very easy to, well, at least for farms, to breed and to provide to the masses. So that's why they are very common in the pet trade to feed animals, but they're really not the best nutritional value, but it's okay to feed them on occasion. For her, I would recommend larger crickets, right? Do I have to wave this in front of your face again? You want it? Delicious. Go ahead. You can't just eat the broccoli. You have to eat the greens as well. What if we do mustard greens? Would you like that better? I have found that bearded dragons actually like cilantro as well. Do you like cilantro, or are you one of those people that, oh, she doesn't like the mustard greens? Do you like cilantro, or are you guys one of the ones that think that cilantro tastes like soap? Because I love cilantro. Isn't that interesting? Would you rather have the broccoli? Or are you getting full? That would be shocked. Oh, she says no, I'm not getting full. Here, have the broccoli. Just like, get that out of my face. I am done with vegetables. Have a vegetable. Vegetables are good for you. Do you guys at home like broccoli? I sure do. I'm not going to eat after her because that's definitely not a good idea. You got to make sure not to eat after your reptiles because you can get salmonella. Did you know that? Now, it's okay to touch reptiles. You just have to wash your hands afterwards and not eat or lick your hands, right? Right, Debbie. Now, these guys are wonderful lizards. They do have all 5 senses. They're very, very smart as well. As you can see, she's pretty alert and smart. They have great vision. They have great sense of hearing. They have a great sense of smell, taste, and touch as well. And she can feel me touching her back. They don't seem to mind being pet on occasion. There you go. Go ahead. Well, there it is on the ground if you would like to eat it. Well, I guess we found her threshold of salad for the day. Unless she decides to change her mind. Remember, they are not like us. They're not going to be eating all the time, multiple times a day, like a mammal would, because they are cold-blooded or ectothermic. We're endothermic, aka warm-blooded. So we have to eat multiple times a day. She would eat multiple times a day. I would venture to say if we fed her certain things, she would probably really like that. Do you want the rest? But she doesn't have to necessarily like wolf it all down, although she's eating now. Kind of just depends on her choice, I guess, right? Give her bugs. I will be giving her bugs in just a little bit. That's going to be kind of her last portion before I put her up. Yeah. I'm actually going to see if she would like some banana next. What do you think? Do you think she's going to like the bananas or not? I think she will try it at least. Now, with bearded dragons, it's really important not to feed them fruit very often. She almost never gets fruit, at least from me. She did have a previous home, and I'm not sure what her history was there. But a lot of people do feed their bearded dragons like strawberries, blueberries, maybe bananas, etc. Not a good idea to do every day, for sure. A lot of sugar in there. For most animals, eating fruit of any kind every single day is very, very negative. It can just give them too much sugar. Now, certain animals, like the one you're going to see here in a little bit, she actually gets banana every single day, at least a portion of it in her diet, but it's not the only thing that she gets to eat. What do you think? Are you finished with the salad, or you want some more? Would you like some bugs? I bet she would. So we're going to take away the salad, not to tease her or anything. She can have all the salad she wants after the show. But I want to make sure you guys can see what she's doing and that she can see what's going on once I bring the next food out here. So let's bring her some banana. How about that? I just said that. I don't want to forget. Thank you for bearing with me today on kind of an experiment that we're doing, which is feeding our animals on the show. We don't normally do a feeding on the show for reasons I explained already, and go back and watch the beginning if you want to learn why. But I thought it would be a fun little change for today. This is Debbie the Bearded Dragon, if you are just joining us. And before that, we had some of her favorite things to eat, bugs, out here a second ago. But we're actually not going to feed her those bugs that we met a little bit ago, although that would be kind of fun, right, to see her eat a bug. Let's try banana. What do you think about bananas? This is kind of a big piece. Here, what do you think about that? What do you think? Here's a couple pieces of fresh banana. Wait for it. Wait for it. What do you think? Do you see it? Banana? I think it might be a no. What do you think, Debbie? What do you think? I'll leave her alone to decide. That is too funny. So, I guess not. What do you think? You want to try it? She gave it a little lick. A little more? Try it. She may have never had banana before, for all I know. Oh, I'm blocking her. I didn't realize I was just. You want to try it? Oh my gosh. Maybe so. Shall we help you? Let's see. Go, Debbie, go. Oh, yes. Okay. I take it back. Now there's no going back now, huh? So we're trying to see if she likes banana at all. I think she does. Yeah, I would say yes. But I think that's all she's gonna get are these 3 pieces of banana tonight. Just for our just for our fun, right? One moment, you guys. We'll let Debbie do just finish the food. Oh my gosh, what do you think? There's one more piece. This amazing content. What do you guys think over on Instagram? Debbie. Yeah, her name is Debbie the Dragon. She's a bearded dragon. Yeah, she did eat it. Okay, there's one more piece though, Debbie. Don't let us down. Come on. Uno más. You can do it. Well, she's thinking about it. Her name is Debbie. Oh, you're letting somebody know. Hi. So for those of you just joining us, my name is Amanda. This is Once in a Wild Wednesday. Welcome or welcome back over on Instagram and the rest of the social media platforms. Hello. We are actually feeding some of our animals some special treats here on the live stream. And Debbie the Bearded Dragon is our current animal that's out here, right? And we have offered her some banana. She ate a couple pieces of banana, but she might be getting full. So let's see if she eats the last piece. Would you like the last piece of banana? It was kind of sweet. I don't know if she's even had banana before. Now, it's not going to hurt her to have a little bit of fruit, but a lot of fruit for this species would definitely be too much sugar. So we don't want to do that because that could have some long-term ill effects, right? So I guess she's just going to say no thank you to this. And we'll try with another animal here in a little bit on the banana. But I've definitely got her favorite animal to eat. And I gave it away. It's an animal. I got her favorite food to eat, which is another type of animal. Because remember, these guys are actually omnivores, which means they eat both plants and other animals. So bearded dragons do eat bugs, like I think we already kind of talked about a little bit. I'm going to try to put her in a good position where you guys can see everything going on. However, sorry you guys, all my reaching today. This is her favorite treat in the world. Are you ready? You better not let everybody down, because this is going to be so much fun. I've got some tongs to help her eat. I'm going to make sure everybody can see this gorgeous lizard. Okay, ready, Debbie? Are you ready? Would you like a worm? You can do it. Here. She's feeling a little lazy today. There it is. Get the worm, Debbie. Don't let it get away. Gonna dig down into the carpet. Good job, Debbie. So this is Debbie's favorite treat, which are super worms. Super worms are just large larvae of basically a black beetle. I forget what species they are, but in the pet trade and in the reptile world and every zookeeper that I know, we call them super worms. Just big, giant worms. Can y'all see? Big old worm. There you go, Debbie. You're gonna get a few of these. Here you go. Eat the worm before it gets away. Oh my gosh, you're not moving very fast today, Debbie. Get that out of the shot there. But you're awfully cute. It's just like, thank you for so many sweet treats. I'm gonna have a sugar rush. Brain freeze? Was that like ice cream for you? Super cute. Now, how these guys will usually find their prey is just by seeing them. They do have a good sense of smell, but they have amazing vision and they're super stimulated by movement of insects, etc. And they also have full color vision, so they can see ripened fruits, ripened flowers, or bright colored flowers, I should say, not really ripened, but blooming flowers. They can see brightly colored leaves and things like that, weeds that they can eat in the wild, and that's how they find their food. They're very, very visual lizards and extremely intelligent. And they do learn by kind of just doing, right? And they definitely will learn the patterns of their keepers as well. She absolutely knows when I have like the bug containers out, or when I'm going up to the shelf where the bugs are kept. Yes, I keep bugs in our shelves, kind of in cabinets, right? So she knows. She does know. Would you like another worm? There you go. That one's wiggling around a lot. But that's typically how they'll find their food if it's a moving food. Ooh, she's gonna stalk her prey. That was kind of cool. Now these guys can move really quick when they want to. As you can see, Debbie's not moving very fast. But if you guys want, I can actually put a worm kind of further away from her and see what she does. I want to make sure you guys on Instagram can see as well. Thanks for bearing with me on this new kind of endeavor of feeding our animals on live stream. There it is. Don't miss it. Don't let it get away. Did I distract you with my movement? Go get the worm. Go get it. It's over there. There it is. I just told everybody you have great eyesight. I know you're not the most athletic bearded dragon in the entire universe, but can you please get the worm? Go. No? Oh, sorry. There you go. There she goes. Whoa! That still wasn't her moving very fast, was it? That was probably the slowest she's ever ran. Yeah, so some lizards do eat worms. Not every species of lizard eats other animals, like insects and worms. Some lizards only eat vegetables, like Joanna the iguana, who we met last time on the live stream. Here, Debbie. There's a worm. Go get it. You can do it. Remember, this isn't her normal environment. This isn't her home. This is a studio. So we're asking kind of a lot of her to move around, do the things in a strange place. She's comfortable, but, you know, only so much she probably feels like doing. Come on, Debbie. Worm time. You can do it. Go, Debbie, go. Let's go. There it is. Are you getting full? All that banana is filling you up, huh? Well, as you can see, she's not the most athletic bearded dragon, nor is she from the wild at all. So she's a very spoiled girl, but she's very, very worth it, right? You can just be spoiled, like some house cats, right? Come on, Debbie. That worm's going to get away crawling under the carpet there. Maybe if we set you up here. Go, Debbie, go. What if there's like a bunch of worms? What would happen? There you go. There's a bunch of them. Aha! Oh! Stalking the prey again. Makes me so excited. Can you tell I love what I do? Oh my gosh. Look at that. Lizard, so cute. I did know somebody that was a little bit frightened of lizards, and bearded dragons are one of the better lizards to help you get over your fears of lizards if you happen to be afraid of lizards. If you happen to be afraid of worms, like some people I know, these are a fairly harmless species of worm that you can handle if you like. They can actually pinch. They have little biting jaws. Been bitten a couple of times by these guys. Something about that worm, you don't want to eat it? Are you just done? That's okay. You can be done. You're very cute. Go eat that one. Yeah, the last one. Good job. I think she did a pretty good job for never eating in front of you guys on the live stream before. That was awfully cute, I think. Pretty good content, if I do say so myself. I just thought I would try something a little different today. Well, Debbie, you did fantastic. This, once again, is Debbie, the bearded dragon. Bearded dragons are pretty commonly seen in the care of humans, right? In zoos, the pet trade, etc., because of their calm nature. However, I do highly recommend you doing a ton of research and talking to someone who's an expert in bearded dragons, or that at least knows how to take care of them. Maybe they've had them in the past, before you adopt one impulsively. I do not recommend, she's leaving us, you guys. I do not recommend getting a bearded dragon baby from a chain pet store. That is not really something you want to do. A lot of those chain pet stores, and I won't mention their name, they do keep way too many bearded dragons together in one enclosure, and they can actually become very sick from one another. They carry all sorts of fun diseases, which is a fun thing to talk about. Debbie Downer, right? But they do carry something called adenovirus, and there's a specific strain of adenovirus which is spread and basically only affects bearded dragons. There's other types of adenovirus too, don't get me wrong. Viruses for everyone, right? Yay. But adenovirus is a big deal in bearded dragons because there's no cure for it. and they get it from each other, usually from pet stores or sometimes from their previous home, etc. So it's really important to not really support that. If you are looking for a bearded dragon friend of your own, do your research, do a lot of it. Make sure you're ready. Make sure you have lots of money to spend on an enclosure and vet care and all the things. And then once you find a bearded dragon that needs a home, because I do recommend adopting before shopping, because a lot of these guys will get purchased and then the person changes their mind, they don't want them anymore, or something happens, life happens, and they can't keep their bearded dragon any longer, and they'll be looking to place or adopt out their bearded dragon, right? That's how we got Debbie. It's actually how we got Eddie as well. Eddie was actually our other bearded dragon. He was a wandering lost lizard in a neighborhood, which he doesn't belong wandering lost in Texas at all. He's not a Texas native, remember? So he was either let go or escaped from another home, and he did not find his home, so he got to live with us permanently, right? I do recommend looking to adopt before shopping when it comes to most animals, but bearded dragons definitely super common to find them needing home, because a lot of people do get them and then they change their mind or life happens, like I said, and you can find one that needs a home. But once you do find one, you have to take it to the vet and get a test for adenovirus. You want to make sure that you know if they have it or not, because you cannot have another bearded dragon. You shouldn't be keeping them housed together anyway, like I said before. But if you cannot have another bearded dragon in your household, if you have a bearded dragon that has the virus, because it's easily passed on just by holding this bearded dragon and then holding the next bearded dragon. Even if they never meet each other, you can actually get them sick just by touching one and then going and petting the other one or holding the other one. So it's really important to know whether your dragon has it or not. Some bearded dragons carry it and they don't have any problems. A lot of them do, though. So it's really important to know. I just want to make sure you guys know that. Bearded dragons are super cute and lots of people want to adopt one. Look for one that needs a home, like I said, if you do want one. But definitely think long and hard before adopting any exotic animal, because they're not like cats and dogs, and even cats and dogs require a ton of time and training and care. These guys also require special vet care from a vet that knows what they're doing with exotics. So that's our PSA about bearded dragons, but they are wonderful. If you would like to meet Debbie for yourself without owning your own bearded dragon, you can actually rent her or Eddie and hang out with them. You can hold them, you can pet them for a little while, and then we get to take them home instead, right? If you're interested in that, just contact us and we can help you with a program with our bearded dragons or any of the other animals that we have in our little mobile zoo. Okay, Debbie's going to go hang out down below. We're going to bring out one more amazing animal. This next animal is not a pet type animal. It's actually a local species that's found right here in Texas and all over North America. And it happens to be a mammal coming up next. So let me get Debbie situated. She's going to say see you later to everybody. See you later, alligator. Just kidding. It's a bearded dragon. All right. Just 1 second while I get everything organized. I'm going to be right back, you guys. And we're back. Sorry about the delay. I had to get situated with our putting away the last animals and now bringing out the final animal. And this is Alice. This is Alice, the Virginia opossum. Virginia opossums are not just found in Virginia, they're found all over North America. And they do get kind of a little bit of a bad reputation. They're one of those animals that we love to inspire people to get to know before they judge, because this is not a big rodent. I'm going to go ahead and start giving her treats now so that she stays occupied with what's going on. Come here, Alice. Come over here. Come back over here for the people to see ya. Now, this type of animal, the opossum, not the possum, by the way, it's the opossum. They eat all kinds of stuff, and they love their snacks. So we do typically at least bring snacks for her to kind of have on shows. We don't always give her snacks on shows. It just depends on her mood. I think she missed the snacks, you guys. Can you turn around and see these people? Let's bear with us. She's showing her good side now. You can see the prehensile tail that they have, which is actually pretty much hairless. You just smell so many smells. Opossums have an amazing sense of smell. That is their best sense. Alice, where are you going? Come here. Just let me get her attention, and then she'll be back with us. As you can see, this is live and real life. And sometimes things happen. There's a snack for you. What do you think? Oh, yes. So opossums are super omnivores. They are basically omnivores of anything they want. They can't eat anything. These guys, as long as it's food, they can eat rotting meat. They can eat insects. They can eat poisonous plants that most animals cannot eat. They can eat venomous snakes and not have much consequence if they are bitten by said venomous snake. They can also eat, what else can you eat? All kinds of stuff that other animals leave behind. So that's what makes them very, very important. These guys also eat a lot of insects, like I said already, not just crickets, worms, roaches. They eat ticks. They're one of the animals known to eat so many ticks that they do a lot of good for the planet by getting rid of those ticks, because ticks can carry diseases like Lyme disease and other blood-borne diseases that they can pass on to other animals like your pets or even us. And Lyme disease is no joke. It's actually very, very serious. And we need animals in the environment like the opossum, like Alice here, to be able to eat those ticks. They're extremely important. Another thing that opossums do not do, that a lot of people think they actually do, is carry rabies. These guys are known to have like maybe a 2% chance of even having the disease rabies, but they almost never, ever, ever pass it on. I think it's just like a 0.5% chance of them passing it on. So they're not known as a rabies vector. They don't pass rabies on to anybody. Opossums don't even live that long in nature. They typically only make it to about 2 years old. My least favorite thing about them. Pretty sad. Alice could live to be 5 years old maximum in human care. We hope that she'll get that old, because I love her very much. But that's only in human care. In the wild, they only live to be about 2. So they're not really an animal that passes on rabies to other animals ever. And they don't really even bite other animals except for their food items, right? Like those snakes or bugs that they eat. Maybe even fish or small rodents, things like that. But as far as your cats and dogs at home, if they do happen to bite them, they're not going to contract rabies. It's okay. They're not a rabies vector like a raccoon or even a skunk or some other animals too. And even raccoons and skunks don't carry rabies as often as we think they do. You just have to watch out and not handle those animals, because they can carry rabies. Come here. But opossums do not do that. So they get a bad reputation for also being dirty, diseased, for being ugly. I don't think they're ugly at all. I think they're adorable. You need to come back over here, though, so they can see your adorable face and not just your adorable hind end. I think she's super distracted by her favorite food of all time, which is down here. And I'm going to put that away because I didn't think this through very much. Come here. Sorry for the awkwardness of this encounter today, you guys. Yeah, the kibble is not her favorite, but she will eat it because she is hungry right now. It's time for her to eat. These guys are nocturnal, and I typically do feed our 2 opossums, Alice, this one, and Cooper, her adopted brother. I typically do feed them around this time. So let me go ahead and give her her favorite, because her nose is working so well over time that she can actually smell her favorite food now. So I'm going to go ahead and give her some of that right now, shall we? Let's spoil her a little bit. That is okay. She's so excited. Come here. Yes, it's bananas. Bananas are her favorite food, and she does get them just about every day mixed in with the rest of her diet. It gives her a good fruit portion, because these guys do require some fruit and vegetable in their diet every single day. She also gets broccoli most every day as well, kind of mixed in there too. Now she's happy. And once the treats are either all gone or put away, she will just kind of relax. So I think she was just really getting excited. Can you hear her smacking and eating? Please don't eat with your mouth open, kids at home. It's only cute on animal. But these guys get a really bad rep. They are a local species to us here in the United States. They are not legal pets in Texas, at least. There are a couple of states where they are considered to be a legal pet if they are bred in captivity, but Texas is not one of them. So we do not have her as a pet. We have her as an animal ambassador. Now, the only reason that we can have her at all is with special permission from the government. And also we have to basically uphold to certain rules and things with keeping them. And it's all very important, of course, to help them not be snagged out of the wild for pets by other people. There you go. Did you find it? Yeah. But they are not legal pets at all. So do not go out and snag your own pet opossum from the wild. That is not legal and not okay. The only reason that we have her in the first place is because she came from a rehabber who actually had to raise her up from a tiny little baby. And she was still tiny when we got her as well. But she was raised so young because she was found pretty much dropped by mom. Because when these guys are very, very small, they live in mom's pouch, and they might climb onto mom's back after that. And then if they fall off too early or they fall out of the pouch too early, they won't survive. So the Good Samaritan that found Alice actually turned her into a rehabber, which is the right thing to do. If you ever find a very, very tiny baby opossum, that is the right thing to do, is to turn her or him into the professionals. Oh my gosh, you guys are missing it. And and then they can kind of do the rest of the job from there. There you go. Banana. I hope you guys are enjoying the awkwardness of the feeding frenzy that is the live stream tonight. If you're just joining us, we don't normally feed our animals on the live stream, but I thought that I would do so today. And we're getting hilarious results. Lots of bloopers to answer somebody's question from the beginning. I'm sure today will end up on the blooper reel that I someday will actually make for you guys on YouTube. We definitely get lots of animal bloopers with this being an animal show with lots of accidents. But anyway, these guys are, like I said, wonderful animals, but not legal pets for most people to have. Especially here in Texas, they're definitely not legal. They are protected. Now, they're not an endangered species by any means. They're doing very, very well. They're so well adapted to so many different scenarios, many different habitats. They can live almost anywhere all over North America, and they can actually make it through all sorts of different types of temperature change and climates and all sorts of things. So they are super survivors, and they can eat all kinds of food, can't they? Now, I'm really enjoying looking at your face, Alice, but I'm sure everybody else would love to look at your face as well. So how do we turn around? Turn around. There we go. That's perfect. Now, usually she'll kind of settle down and groom herself after she's eaten something, and we'll see if she does that today. They are super silly animals, and they do whatever they want sometimes, so that's just the way it is. Right, Alice? She's gonna go check out my computer. And you guys are getting a nice view of her beautiful, luxurious fur. You guys do have pretty soft fur. It might look kind of wiry, but it kind of reminds me of maybe like a terrier dog. It's pretty soft, and it's long for a purpose because the babies that will live in her pouch when they're very, very little. By the way, all marsupials, just like a opossum, which is not a rat, by the way, they get a bad reputation for being rodents, which there's good rodents too, right? Rodents have their place in the environment as well. But these guys are not rodents. They're actually marsupials, like a kangaroo. So they indeed have a pouch for their babies. And when they are born, all marsupials are extremely tiny and basically underdeveloped. They are only pregnant for 2 weeks as a mom opossum, and they will have their babies after a very short pregnancy, but then those babies have to go right back into the pouch and finish growing up. They are not done. So they are born, and then they use their little sense of smell and touch to find mom's pouch. And they will spend about 2 to 2.5 months inside the pouch, nursing, which means drinking a lot of milk. They'll do a ton of growing up. They'll get their eyesight, their hearing, and then they'll have all 5 senses. They'll get more hair because they don't have any hair when they're born. And they'll look a lot cuter. And when they're about 2 to 2.5 months old, they come out of the pouch, but then they climb onto mom's back. And that's where they will stay for as long as they can. If mom has anywhere from maybe 5 to 12 babies, that's a lot of babies to carry on her little back here. And Alice in particular is not really a very large female opossum. They're kind of average the size in Texas, but they do vary in size depending on where they are from in the United States and where they are from in North America in general. The further north you go, the bigger they usually get, and males are bigger than females. But females can only carry so many babies on their back for any period of time. And so once they get tired of that, or the babies just don't fit there anymore, they start kind of falling off. And anywhere from 3 to 4 months, maybe even up to 4.5, that would be kind of pushing it, they start to leave mom and become little kind of graduate opossums. And then they grow very, very quickly in general. So before you know it, they're going to be adults. And at around 5 to 6 months old, they can have their own babies. And like I said before, opossums don't live very long anyway. They actually live to be about 2 in the wild and up to 5 in human care. So in their short little lifespan, a mom opossum can have a few litters of babies if she stays alive long enough, maybe up to 4 litters in her entire lifespan, because she only is going to live a couple of years. But they're very good mothers. I don't want to put a bad reputation in these guys because Alice was dropped. Sometimes a baby opossum will just fall out of the pouch, and maybe mom opossum, maybe something happened to mom opossum. We don't know. All we know is that she was found all by herself as a very small baby. She did have hair. She wasn't too super small, but she was still too young to not be in the pouch anymore. And somebody scooped her up and brought her to a rehabber, and the rehabber was able to save her life. Thank goodness. And as soon as she was able to eat solid food, they had to find a home for her in some sort of zoo scenario because she's way too tame to go back to the wild. That is why she's with any human scenario at all. I hope that makes sense. That is not an animal you would normally see like in somebody's possession. They are usually in the wild, and a lot of people are afraid of them in their own backyards. They get a bad rep, like I said, but they're not out to harm you. These guys are actually pretty scaredy cats. Some opossums are very used to people, and that's not necessarily a great thing. I don't necessarily recommend feeding opossums on your porch or anything like that. If you have outdoor cats, bring them inside, first of all, because that's a whole slew of other issues. But also, these guys can get way too accustomed to humans, and they can walk right up to the next neighbor or the next neighbor down there, and not everybody's going to be nice to them. Some people are afraid of opossums, and they might hurt them, which we're trying to fix that, right? But if you basically feed opossums and get them way too used to you, they might get used to the next person, right? And then they're way too tame. And that's why she was deemed non-releasable, basically by the powers that be, and she had to find a new home in some sort of zoo or human care. So she got to be animal ambassador here at Once in a Wild, and she's been wonderful. Romeo says, I want to give her a little kiss on the head. That's so sweet. I'm so glad you love opossums. Opossums are actually one of my favorite animals. They get a really bad rep, like I said, and I don't know why it's merited. I don't think it's merited, and I don't know where it came from in the first place, is what I'm trying to say. I think it's because they kind of look rodent-like. And I know the ones that most people do see outside in their own kind of backyard scenario, etc. I'm saying scenario a lot tonight, you guys. People see in like their own backyards and things like that. They're going to be the old ones. I'm going to come over here. Did that get your attention? It's a bowl of food. There's even worms in there still. Debbie didn't eat. Come here. Would you like some worms? Opossums can eat super worms. In fact, I'm sure she will love to eat the worms. There we go. Yum. That is so cute. Oh yeah, she's gonna really like that. But it is not merited, you guys. These guys are wonderful animals. They're actually kind of like a little kangaroo animal here in the United States, as well as all over North America. They are the only type of marsupial in all of North America, so they're pretty special. And they do us a lot of good by cleaning up, by eating gross bugs like ticks and roaches and flies and things. They also eat leftovers that other animals leave behind that other animals cannot eat anymore, like rotten meat or maybe rotten food in general. That is sometimes where people see them in their trash and things like that. They don't understand why we've left all these goodies behind. They're just trying to clean up the leftovers for us. Now, a lot of times that does get them in trouble, not just with humans or pets, but also with plastic. These guys are definitely susceptible to plastic pollution. They might get stuck in plastic rings and all sorts of different plastic items that cannot budge. And if they get their little head stuck in like a big plastic Gatorade jar or something, Gatorade bottle or plastic jar, and they can't get their head out, that can happen to them. Peanut butter jar, etc. So it's always important to make sure your trash can or recycling bin has a very secure lid. And if you have the ability to recycle as much as you can, reuse as much as you can, you're not going to eat that food. What about the worm? What if it's just like a worm by itself? Do you want it? I bet you can hear them. You want the worm just like all by itself? Here. How about that? She's like, yes, attack. Now I'm a little nervous to give her a worm with my bare hands because she is a carnivore, an omnivore. She could eat it. But I want her to see it as well. No, she's just going to miss the worms. What if we put bananas in there? I bet you would eat it then. If there was bananas. What do you guys think? Banana time. I think bananas are the winner for pretty much everybody today. Debbie, I think, really liked the worms the best. Yeah. Now, opossums do have really good sense of hearing, but they have an even better sense of smell. So I'm sure she smelled the bananas. Oh my gosh, how cute. Thank you for all the hearts. Oh my gosh. The smacking. Should we eat at the same time? Now, Alice and Cooper are two opossums that live together. They were raised together, so that's the reason that they can actually coexist and cohabitate. What do you think? They actually share the same food bowl and everything. They're very gentle with one another. Cooper is especially gentle with her. He does groom her and lick her. It's super cute. They're besties. Cooper is neutered, though, so we won't be having any baby opossums. But yes, we won't be needing to breed them anyway because they're not an endangered species. These guys are doing very well in the wild. They're actually what we call least concern, which is like the first level of being endangered. They're not endangered at all. They do very well for all the reasons they already named and many more. They're just very well adapted to many scenarios and situations. And that's really good because opossums are very important. Now, a lot of times they'll get in trouble as well in the road because remember, opossums are not the fastest, are they? Opossums can move a lot faster when they're babies than they do as adults, and they climb better when they're babies because don't we all, right? We're young, we're nimble, we're lighter weight, we can climb, yay! But the older they get, the slower they get. A lot of people do see the old decrepit type ones when you spot one in your own environment. And that's a lot of times too where they get a bad rep because they kind of just look a little bit, weathered, if you but respect your elders. Those are just the elderly. But these guys aren't the fastest in general as an animal goes. So a lot of times they'll get in trouble in the road. So they're just trying to cross the road. They don't understand what cars are. And another thing that opossums actually do when they become really frightened and really, really stressed is they will play dead. And that certainly does not work in the road against cars. You want another banana? Would you like a banana mixed with kibble and worms? Your favorite out there, right? Everybody's favorite meal combo. Yum. Oh, adorable. But if they play dead in the road, that's not going to help them at all, is it? But playing dead against their natural predators like coyotes, foxes, etc., all those other predatory animals, most of the mammal type predators, right? They will see an animal kind of play dead. You spit out a lot of your food there, little girl. They'll see an animal play dead, and they think they actually did die. And an opossum doesn't just look dead when they play dead. They actually put on a huge show. It's like a rigor mortis type deal. They will go very stiff. Their eyes will roll into the back of their skull. They will go to the restroom on themselves as well. That's pretty, right? And they smell terrible when all that happens. And so they don't just look dead and appear to have died instantly in front of another animal. They will actually smell bad, like a dead animal as well. That's all very, very convincing. Does my shirt smell good to you? There's food right here. Come here. They will give every kind of sense that other predator can sense of being dead, gross, diseased, etc. And so if that predator has a little bit of smarts in its brain, like a coyote or a fox, etc., some cats, dogs even, they see an animal that died right in front of them, they go, wait a minute, I don't know about that. that animal just dropped dead in front of me and looks really, really gross. I don't think I want to eat that today. I think I'm going to leave that for another animal to come eat, maybe a vulture, maybe an owl, which does happen sometime, and move on to the next choice. And then a lot of times they will be safe because of their ability to faint and feign death. They're pretty incredible animals though, but that does not work in scenarios like the street, right? So we got to watch out for our wildlife in the road. That is not good for them to be out there in the traffic, right? But it really can't be helped because roads are everywhere. That's where animals need to go sometimes. So we just got to watch out for them. Okay, come here. I think she's getting bored with the food. Maybe she'll just hang out with us for a little bit longer while we finish up. That would be nice, Alice. Can you hold still, please? As you can see, she's not like, what do you call it, a domestic animal. She kind of does whatever she wants. She follows her snout wherever. They do have that amazing sense of smell. Can you see her snout? She's so cute. Animals that are mammals, like opossums and other animals, right? You want some more? Okay, go ahead. Go ahead. That's perfect. Whoa, fall off the cliff. Animals that are mammals, if you look at their faces, you can usually tell what they do best by looking at what's biggest. So a rabbit has big ears, right? They hear really well. A rabbit also smells and sees very, very well too. A opossum has a great big snout. So that's what they do best, is their smelling ability. Opossums also have pretty big ears, so they do hear very well as well. Now, they do have decently sized eyes, but their eyes overall are pretty beady, so they don't really see very well at all. We know that. And they don't see color. It's very blurry, very limited, very shadowy. And they also have a great sense of touch, too. That's another thing they do very well. They have whiskers all over their long snout, too. And those whiskers help them feel around in the dark. They even have whiskers on their eyebrow area as well, just like your cats and dogs at home. And they tend to kind of follow their whiskers, follow their sense of touch, and follow their nose around in the dark when they get around. And they are a nocturnal animal. Opossums do have a prehensile tail, like I mentioned before. They can grab onto things. I don't know if she'll grab my arm or not. You can kind of see how she uses her tail a little bit. The tail is bare or naked. It doesn't have much hair on it at all. It's pretty hairless like a rat's tail, but they're not rats, remember? I know they look like them, but they're not. But they do have the bare tail in order to have a better grip. If she had a very fluffy squirrel-like tail, this would be much slipperier for her to grab onto a tree branch or grab onto anything. And that would cause her to slip a lot more easily, especially when they're babies. These guys really do need their tails to hang onto their moms. They also have little hands to grab onto their mom's fur when they're hanging on for dear life when they're babies. And they even have feet hands on their back legs too. Maybe she'll just come out and hang out with us. Oh my gosh, her nose is so cold and her paws are so cold, aren't they? Oh my gosh. Well, you guys, this is actually our last animal. I know that was kind of like an awkward Once in a Wild Wednesday with all the feeding, but I hope you guys enjoyed it. And I was a little all over the place, so I hope you don't mind. I do my best sometimes. This is real life. And things happen and life happens. She is so cute. But I thought it was kind of fun to see some of the animals eating their favorite snacks. I think bananas was the favorite of everybody today, except for Debbie, the dragon, who really liked the worms, I think, the best. But she also liked bananas too. She ate the candy bananas. So I hope you guys enjoyed seeing our animals eating some new treats, some old treats for them. The roaches really liked the bananas too. All right. Now, don't forget, you guys, this Saturday, I forgot to mention, and somebody has reminded me down below in the comments. This is why the comments are so important. Thank you so much. So these guys, well, some of the animals, rather, I don't know why I said these guys. Some of the animals will actually be appearing at a public event on Saturday. You can go to onceinawilde.com and you'll see the event and all the details. I do recommend, of course, wearing your mask and being very, very safe. It is outdoors. It's going to be for charter schools. So it's a public event where people can come out and learn about some of the charter schools in San Antonio, which is where we live. And again, onceinawilde.com. You can go to the information there on our main page. There's a little square. You can't miss it. It says public event or whatever it says. It's very easy to see, I promise. And also our social media will be posting information as well regarding this event. And it begins at 10 a.m. It's in San Antonio. And a lot of the charter schools will be out there kind of promoting themselves and all sorts of different educational things like us, educational options, educational fun things will be out there. It's going to be a lot of fun if you guys are wanting to brave the cooler temperatures as well as brave what's going on in the world right now. We don't blame you if you want to stay home, but if you want to come out and see some of our animals, we're going to have a few of them for a meet and greet as well as just to talk about what we do and promote what we do. So we thank you so very much ahead of time if you're going to come out and see us there. But check out onceinawild.com and see what's going on. I almost forgot about that because we haven't had a whole ton of public events lately because of the scenario of what's going on. But we are being very, very safe. We're going to be distancing. We're going to be wearing masks, maybe even 2 masks, right, Alice? And we'll be very, very careful, so don't you worry. Okay. Romeo says, me and my partner are watching the stream. We love Alice so much. I'm so glad you love opossums. They're one of my favorite animals. They get a kind of a bad reputation, but I think people are kind of coming around a lot more lately to opossums and other misunderstood creatures because of animal education, I like to think, and also because of awareness, right? A lot of opossums are rescued animals, and a lot of influencers and other social medias, they will post their opossum stories and things. And a lot of people have fallen in love with some of the more famous social media opossums. So I think that has part to do with it as well. Pretty cool. Either way, I'm really thrilled that you love her. Oh, it's okay that you called Debbie a him. She couldn't read. That's okay. She does not mind. Debbie is a female. This is a female as well, and some of our roaches were boys and some of our roaches were girls today. The roaches, you can actually tell them apart as well. Your favorite? Which one was your favorite? The opossum or the bearded dragon? Are they adoptable? So we do actually have, that's a good question, Romeo. Asking if the animals are adoptable. So the animals that actually live here at Once in a While, they never have to actually go to another home. They have a permanent home with us. They're not necessarily adoptable to like the public, but you can actually sponsor our animals over on Patreon. So if you go to our website, onceinawild.com, or if you go to some of the descriptions in the below box on social media here, and even our social media too, there should be some links. There's a Patreon link. So if you guys want to actually support us, that is one really great way to do that. You can also support us, of course, by donating a tip of your choice tonight. If you enjoyed the show and you just want to help our animals out, we have several options for you there as well. You can go to onceinawild.com, scroll to the bottom, and click sponsor our animals. There are all your options there. And there are links down below as well for you guys very conveniently. Alice is getting very, very antsy, so it may be time to go soon. But that is a great question. I'm so glad you asked that. But our animals that we have are adopted into our mobile zoo, and they never actually have to go on to another home. They have a permanent, safe home with us once we decide to adopt them. We don't adopt animals that we cannot take care of, and we always think very carefully before adopting each and every animal, as you should too at home if you happen to want to adopt your own pets and things. But I'm not sure if that's what you meant by sponsorships or if you meant actually adopting out animals. We don't have animals for adoption or for sale. That is a great question, though. Thank you for asking. Sorry if I've been all over the place today. It's been one of those weeks. I'm just super tired. And thank you for bearing with me and having lots and lots of patience. And I hope you enjoyed some of the chaoticness of this encounter and seeing animals kind of eating and just doing whatever they want, I guess. She's just kind of doing whatever. And I hope it wasn't too bad. But maybe we won't do this too often, but it was kind of fun. Especially, I think Debbie was probably one of the best ones to see eating. That was kind of fun. And Alice is over here stretching. Oh, here's a good question. Can you show us her pouch? Opossums are your favorite. That's wonderful. So opossums kind of have an interesting little pouch. It is under here, and I don't know if she will let me. Most opossums are not super comfortable with being lifted up like a baby like that, but the pouch is kind of under here on her belly. Now, I can certainly feel the pouch, and I don't know if you guys can even see that. It's really hard to see because they have such pretty hair covering everything, but it's kind of like a little, kind of like a pocket that is this shaped. Can you see my hand? It's kind of like slitted, but it's long way along her belly. And that's where the babies go if they have babies. And of course, that whole area will really stretch out if she has like 12 babies in there, which Alice has never been a mom, so she is not a very big opossum, not ever having to stretch out her pouch. That is a good question. And their nursing stations, if you will, if you know what I mean, are actually in a circular pattern, and there are 13 places for babies to nurse inside the pouch. So at maximum, they can actually nurse 13 babies, but mom opossum can actually have up to 25 babies. But as you might imagine, usually 25 do not make it. It's usually 13 and less because of the nursing scenario that they have inside of their pouch. But it's actually in a circular pattern, so those babies can kind of just like be in a circle attached to where they nurse and do a lot of nursing and a lot of growing. They grow hair, they get their eyesight, they get their hearing, and at about 2.5 months old, they kind of well, she's falling asleep. She woke up. They come out of mom's pouch when they just get a little bit too big, 2.5-ish months, and then they'll climb onto her back and hang on to the hair. Usually, they'll kind of hang on, maybe like one is facing this way and the other one's facing this way, and they kind of alternate like that. And they'll just kind of be on a row on her entire back, and as many as she can carry, she will carry them. They're very dedicated and wonderful mothers. If you guys have never seen a mom opossum with a bunch of babies on her back, it's one of the cutest things in nature. And just once they get a little bit too big, they just start falling off naturally. Now, opossums, when they're about this big, body-wise, that's actually big enough to be on their own, about 3 to 4 months old. Pretty neat. Yes, I'm so glad you enjoyed it. Again, sorry for the hot mess express this time. I thought it was kind of fun, but also a little bit awkward. But I'm glad you guys had patience with me, and I hope you enjoyed it. Thank you for joining us today. If this was your first time, I hope you return again. It won't always be this awkward. This was just kind of a fun encounter to do today. But I hope you enjoyed it nonetheless, and I hope you enjoyed Alice and Debbie and the Roach Army and all of them eating their fun snacks. And I guess we'll just start saying goodbye. I hope you guys enjoyed. Like I said, we hope to see you next week. Each and every Wednesday evening at 6:30 p.m. Central Standard Time is when we try to broadcast live for free. And if you guys do want to donate or tip, all your options are down below in the description boxes, as well as in the bio. And you can go to onceinawhile.com all the way down to the bottom where it says sponsor our animals, and there's all of your donation options as well. Well, it's been a lot of fun. I think we will close with our theme song like we always do. Let me just get situated real quick. And why not? We'll see you guys next time. We are nothing close to ordinary, but we love to be your friend. Hold our hands and let's have fun together, singing as loud as you can. Everybody singing once in a while. Together. Once in a while. I want to hear you say once in a while. Never fun for me and you. All right, you guys. Well, I hope you enjoyed our show. We hope to see you next time, same place, all over social media. Let's turn Alice around so she can see you guys and say bye. She's following her nose everywhere. But we'll see you guys next time. Bye, guys.